My next guest launched an explosive investigation into Australia's underground drug trade. He even travelled to the cocaine fields of Colombia and looked at meth labs in Mexico. He worked with police in their investigations into global drug cartels and local dealers. News Corp senior reporter Stephen Drill is now warning that Australia is about to face a fresh wave of new substances, and he joins me now. Stephen, this is quite an incredible investigation. What did you find when you went to Colombia and Mexico?
Well, Sharri, I was a little bit surprised because I expected to be talking about cocaine and methamphetamines and ice, which is what we know about what we've got on the streets now. But the authorities there, they're really worried about fentanyl. It's already cutting a swathe through America, North America, and there's been record deaths there last year. And they're worried that the cartels are going to start cutting cocaine with fentanyl. It's highly addictive, so they want to try and make cocaine even more profitable because they can try and hook people in again and again to buying more. So the cartels are getting smarter and they're getting more sophisticated, and really it's going to take a lot of work for the police and also for governments to try and make sure that our streets are kept safe.
And so were you actually with police as they went into meth labs, or how did it work? And, you know, were there any hair-raising moments for you?
Well, Assistant Commissioner Kirsty Schofield of the Australian Federal Police actually travelled with us as we toured around the Latin American countries, and she was being shown what the police capabilities were there. We were pretty well protected the whole way around. In Mexico, that was probably the most dangerous. They had M16s, sort of a belt-fed machine gun on the back of a ute, and there was 3 armed soldiers on the back of there, and they were doing head checks the whole time. That they were quite on edge.
And what about China's role in the illicit drug trade? Is there any involvement there?
Well, Chinese organised crime is a major player in the world's drug trade. Now, that's also what came up even in Panama, Mexico and Colombia. That's what everyone was talking about, is their place in the food chain, or the supply chain rather, of illicit drugs, because you can't make meth without the drugs from China. You can't make fentanyl without the drugs from China, and they're being allowed to come in from Chinese organised crime. There's about 285,000 unregulated labs in China, and most of that supply is legitimate, but there's at least 10%, according to Mexico's top cop, Felipe Gallo, saying that there is a major problem, it was his quotes, major problem with China and their organised crime in feeding the drugs that are going into Mexico and then being turned into meth and fentanyl. And fentanyl is 50 times more powerful than opium.
Wow.
About 2 grains of salt, the equivalent of 2 grains of salt, could kill you.
God, and we shuddered to think that could hit our shores. Stephen Drill, thank you very much for your time and for the investigation. And if you're interested in reading more about that, you can check it out in the Herald Sun, the Daily Telegraph, or any of the News Corp tabloid websites.